Alright, so right after I'm getting ready to start this video up, I hear a noise to my side. I look over and check this out. Look at the size of that guy. Oh hey, did you get him? He whipped a bug off that trash can. As much as we want to watch big fat frogs, we got a job to do. We got to get the oil off this gas tank. This is a brand new gas tank. And it comes treated with oil so it doesn't rust in the shipping process and sitting on the shelf. And this is for the Vette, for the 78 Vette that we have here. So I'm gonna grab the rags. Get around the sending unit hole. Where's that side? Let's flip her over. And there's the side everybody sees. Pour that baby like a Gatorade, you know what I'm saying? We'll dry it off here in a minute. Give it the hand test. You know, another good test too is sticking masking tape to it, because if masking tape will stick to it, then it's pretty clean. Alright guys, so this is all prepped. We'll come back at you when we get some primer on this little girl. Alright guys, so next step, we got it all washed with the wax and grease remover. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit it with the scouring pad. The good old green scouring pad. We're just going to use a green one. I don't think we're going to scuff it up very much, but we're going to go ahead and scuff this puppy up and make sure that we got a decent surface for stuff to bond to. Just in case, you know, just in case you want the paint to stick, you know, to molecularly, you know, do the bonding thing, you know. James said you got a bond. I don't know. Reminds you of the days of hand sanding a car. Of course, it was a lot younger then. Sam, Christine, I'm going to do the right thing. Invite all you over to help. The next phase is take this shiny gas tank and make it look dull gray. We're going to do that using the old Rust-Oleum automotive primer. Okay, it doesn't, it's for metal and fast drying and wet sandable, but we're not going to sand it. We're going to do the right thing and just paint it over top of it. The important thing is, you know, we got to get some primer on this little girl so she doesn't rot away on us. We thought we was going to use some etching primer, but I don't have enough, and the stuff's expensive.
I do.
It's Rust-Oleum. Who don't trust that? You guys get paid the big bucks for technology. And at $7 a can, why wouldn't you? You know, you should probably wear a mask, but you know what? Frankly, I'm over the mask stuff by now. I need to breathe.
You're outdoors.
And I'm outdoors. We gotta get some color on this little girl. We can't be having a primer gas tank on our hot rod. Okay guys, so we're gonna go ahead and get some paint. And we're gonna spray this thing. We got some rattle can gloss protective enamel. We're gonna go ahead and spray on here and see if we can cover some of this up. So we fought with the nasty Rust-Oleum paint that we had some bad cans of paint and there wasn't spraying. So we stopped and grabbed some Rust-Oleum Stops Rust, 25% more for free. It's got to be good. It's got this little Scottish guy in the front. I don't know. We'll try it. So easy to spray with Rust-Oleum. We'll see about that. Oh my goodness, it works. It's working. I didn't pay for 25% of this can. It don't look too shabby. Right? Am I right? It's got some high gloss shine going on it. Good enough for the top of the tank. She looks pretty decent. We're gonna let that dry, flip it over, do the other side. We did the new gas tank, got it all painted and stuff and ready to go in. It was looking pretty bad before, and the sending units for these cars they don't remake, so we ended up having to do some repairs on the sending unit. And it's not necessarily pretty, but you know what, this car's a driver, it's not really a show car, so it's good enough. When we pulled the sending unit off, we thought, well, no big deal, we'll just get another sending unit for it. Not a big deal, right? Since it's a Chevy GM product, we figured it'd be no problem with sending it. They don't make sending units for these cars. As many of these cars as there was on the road, they don't make a sending unit for it. So we were forced to use the original one, which was on the outside pretty darn rusty. So we ended up cutting the tubes off. I'll kind of try to bring you in here and show you. We ended up cutting the tubes off around here and putting new tubes on the lower portions of it. And then we used a gas tank sealer over top of all that, and then paint over top of that. So I was able to clean up the connection for the positive connection right here. And we do have to solder the ground on here yet. I'm going to go ahead and solder a ground male end on here that we can plug in for the ground wire to plug that in there and for that. So it would clean up all underneath the whole unit. We may end up and go ahead and pull this snap clip off here, clean all this really well, put this all back together with a new snap clip before we put it in. We're not quite sure yet, but it does work. We did test it and do a bench test on it. It does work properly, so that's a good thing. So we're probably just going to put it in. But before we put it in, we did notice underneath the car when we were crawling underneath there, you know, we knew that the car did have a couple areas that were kind of problem areas. So we're going to take you guys underneath